Hello my DIY friends. I am going to be making a bird feeder. So I have, out of resin, I have this lovely silicone mold that is like a flower. And I also have, this was a planter stand with wheels, and the wheels came off, and well, two of the wheels came off, and then I had my husband cut that one off. So I want to make this mold, and I'm going to put it in here just like that when it's done. And I also have this that I had from my thinking I could put this on here. I had this from a planter, so I'm thinking that would hold my bird feeder, but we'll see. I might not be able to use that. So basically I'd like to make this mold beautiful, and I mixed up 400 milliliters excuse me, of resin total. So I'm going to pour some in this cup, and I'm also going to put on my little bird feeder this house that I had gotten from Dollar Tree. And basically what I did was I put brown stain on it, and then I put sunflowers on it, which I think is adorable. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some yellow on my bird feeder, mix in my bird feeder. So I have yellow mica powder. So I'm going to dump, first I'm going to dump some of this resin in my mold to have it in there. And I'm going to get my heat gun. I have issues with my heat guns because when I'm using them, my hands are wet, and then I have issues with the on and off buttons, and then I gotta get that fixed. But right now, I'm not going to do that because I don't want my resin to get hard. So I have another heat gun right here. And I'm going to spread this out. I just want to layer a small layer of resin on here, and then I'm going to add more with color. So right now I'm trying to pop the bubbles and move around my resin. So just want to move this around to make sure that every bit of my mold is covered. I don't think my table is the problem in this room. I honestly believe it's my floor. Our house is over 200 years old, and I think the floor is not level because I've tried to level out the table and it seems level, and my husband's looked at it. The table's level, it's the floor that's not. So there's honestly nothing I can do about that I know of. So hopefully I can move this around. And I'm going to use my heat gun to blow out any bubbles. smear it around. Make sure every part of my flower has resin in it. So I have yellow mica powder, so I am going to pour some resin into this cup. I didn't put much in there, so I'm going to add some mica powder. I have added quite a bit of mica powder because I'd like it not to be totally translucent. I think that's beautiful, beautiful color. So I am going to take my resin with the mica powder and go around the edge of the flower. Just hopefully I have enough to put on here. So I started out strong with my mica powder. So now I am going to just swirl it around the area in which it's at to make a little bit of a design. Now if you see, I have bubbles in here, so I'm going to have to do something with the bubbles to get rid of them. So I am going to use my heat gun to get rid of the bubbles. But right now I am just swirling around the gold. Yellow, gold, it looks very pretty, whatever color it is. So I am going to use my heat gun. To blow out the bubbles. So this is going to be a bird feeder. Now I'm thinking I want to take my stick and move this gold around. Gold, yellow, I think it looks gold, but it goes good with my sunflower here, so pretty happy about that. So I am just moving this mica powder around. Now I have a bit of something right here, so I have to move that. So I'm going to add the rest of my resin into the mold. Give it a minute and I'll get back to that. So pretty. The color is very shiny, which is nice. So what happened was when I added more of the resin, it basically pushed my color back to the end. like to the corner, or I don't know what you want to call it, from the middle it pushed it in. So trying to get this all out to use it. Okay, so I'm going to try and bring the gold all the way through from the end. I think that is such a pretty color. And then I'm going to get my heat gun. And blow out the bubbles. You can also use rubbing alcohol, and you just spritz it, and that gets rid of bubbles also. I think this is very, very pretty with the colors it has. So I'd like to move them closer towards the middle. The mica powder colors. And I am going to add some alcohol ink. And let's see what colors I have that I'd like to use. Definitely I'm looking for darker colors. I have black here, so I am going to put some in the middle. And then I'm going to add some white. And then I'm going to put some more black in there. And then a little bit more white. Okay. Then I'm going to get my popsicle stick right here. And I'm going to swirl this around in the middle. Just swirling it around in the middle to make the middle of the flower. Pull some out. I want it to have more definition. So I am going to leave that be, and then I'm going to come back in a little bit to check on it and turn it, because that's what I do. So this is what it looks like so far. I think it's very pretty. I'm going to blow it out again, but I am just making sure that this gold mica powder is mixed in with the clear, which would be good to mix it in with the clear. So I'm going to turn it this way because I have less over here, which is fine because, like I said, it's not my table, it's my floor. So I will continue to come back and move it around, but I'm going to blow it out a little bit. And then I'll come back and continue to turn my beautiful flower. Okay, so I'll be back. Just want to get rid of some of these bubbles. This is 8 hours later, and I realized that my black had ran. As you see, it's not in the middle. So I poured more resin, and I took a solo cup and I went to this line right here for my resin, for actually my equal parts of the resin and the hardener, epoxy and hardener. So I added some orange, which is what you are seeing right now. I have orange on there. Then I gathered up some black. I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and then I'm going to add it to the center, and I am also going to add my house while this is still wet. So I added some orange for my bird feeder. Because I did the bird bath with orange, so I figured put more orange in it. So I'm going to put some more yellow in here. Just putting it in to fill in the middle because it looks kind of dark because of the black, which really bums me out. Now I'm adding some white. And then I'm going to add some orange also. I'm just trying to cover most of the black. Just putting dots wherever. And then I'm going to get a toothpick or something tiny to move stuff around, which I have this from Cricut. I'm not going to let it hit the bottom. It's got a point on it. And also, it's dry. The bottom is dry. So I am just moving everything around, pulling it towards the middle. It might be better with my spoon. I have a spoon. This isn't a lot of resin on here. The spoon's better than the pointy thing. But I just want to bring it towards the center. And hopefully this will look like a flower with a little bit of darker color in it. Some flowers have that. Not sunflowers, some flowers. So I am just dragging it towards the center, and then I'm going to get my heat gun, which is right here, and blow this out. I'm going to blow in the middle a little more so that when I put the other resin down, it'll hopefully stay in the middle. Okay, so I have a little bit of black, not much, it's what's left over, and I'm going to pour it towards the middle, and I am also going to use my heat gun to try to keep it in the middle. Let it sit there for a couple minutes. I think that's wonderful. I'm going to try and blow it out, not so close because I don't really want to move my black around. I want to get the bubbles out. Add up the rest of my black to the middle. To make it darker. This could be a hot mess, a totally hot mess. And I honestly believe it's because of this floor of mine. But I'm going to try to push some of this orange and yellow and white in there. It was a perfect circle. So we shall see. This could just be a total hot mess. I'm hoping that it's not. So I'm using my heat gun to kind of blow the black towards the center. Okay, so I will come back and show you my hot mess of my flower, but I'm thinking, let me just move some of this way, dragging it towards the center. This is going to be my bird feeder, and hopefully it's going to be delightfully delicious. I am unsure. So we shall see. So I'm just streaking it through. You can use whatever you want, but I'm trying to get the black closer to the middle and dragging it through. So I'm not sure if I want to put the birdhouse on here yet, because the other side might be prettier than this side. It's just going to have to dry. So I kind of like the way that looks. What a happy mistake. I like the colors like that. We shall see. But by me doing this, I'm making the center better. And then I'm going to blow it out again. And come back and hopefully it'll be as pretty as I think it'll be. So we shall see. I will be back to show you what it looks like as soon as it's hardened. And I honestly don't want to put the house on it because the other side might be prettier than this side. And I have Gorilla Glue to put my house on wherever I decide to put my house. So I'm going to come back, show you what it looks like when it dries. I am really liking the way this looks, so I decided before it dries I'd like to put my birdhouse on here. I'm just trying to think of where to put it. So I'm thinking right about here, so it'll dry in the resin. Right there. I think that looks really, really pretty. And that's where my birdhouse is going to be. And I'm also thinking that I'd like to get my alcohol inks and kind of put it underneath to give it a little lift, so that I'm going to give it a little time before I do that, because it's going to move that. But I'm going to stick alcohol ink underneath the middle petal, I don't know if you can see that, the middle petal here, in a couple hours, so that I can give it a little bit of bump, you know what I mean? But I need to give it a little bit of time. It's still pliable, but here's the little house right here, and I think it looks lovely. So I'm going to give it a little time, then I'm going to come back, because it's still bendable, and I want to put some of these alcohol inks underneath the middle part of the petal. When I say middle, I mean this one right here, because 3, and then it'll give it a little bit of wavy, so when I put the bird food on there, it's not going to just slide right off. So I'm going to come back in about 4 hours. I'll let you know and show you what I'm going to do. Look how pretty this is. I didn't put anything underneath, but look how pretty that is. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to unmold it, and then I'm going to stick it into my tray. But I think this side's going to be prettier than the other side. It still is pliable, bendable, so I am just getting the mold off the bottom. Okay, and the other side looks like this, which I'm glad I put the house on, because this isn't as pretty as this. So I have my tray right here, and I am going to stick my beautiful flower, hopefully, in here. Got to bend it a little, so thank goodness it is still pliable. There we go. Okay, so here it is. It's in here, and I have this hook that I painted with metallic paint, and I got it from my hanging plants, and I am going to try to put it on here. You can use chains or whatever you like. Let's see what I can do to make this stay. I'm thinking glue. Maybe underneath. So if I put it underneath like this, it'll stay on that one. So I'm thinking putting this on my lanta. I want to put this right here. There we go. Oh, of course it fell off. Let me see. So I'm going to have to find a way to secure this on here so it hangs up. So I'm going to work on that, thinking I could put bread ties on it, glue it, and then it'll stay shut and it'll hold it. But I'll be back to show you. So I'm going to work on that and come back. I put bread ties on my handles, all 3 of them, and then I used Gorilla Glue, so I needed for that to dry. But look, how pretty is that? Thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.